it's your girlio.
So about a week ago, I posted an AMA on my Twitter, and you might have noticed from my other video that I mentioned it. So yeah, if you couldn't guess already, this video is going to be me answering your questions that you posted on my Twitter. So let's begin now, shall we? There's no way I'm gonna be able to answer all these, holy shit. First question by bored person on the internet. First anime that made you cry / made you feel like a pussy. That's a toughie because I watched my first animes, like I remember when I was younger, and I would be really attached to it, and I'd cry like Tokyo Mew Mew or Kamichima Karen. But if you're talking about sad animes, I would have to say probably Anohana. Sorry for giving you a cliche answer. Next question by Wokenarn. I cannot read all this. Who in the YouTube community would you like to collaborate with? Does not necessarily have to be on the anime side of things. I'd have to think for a second on that one as well, because there are a lot of YouTubers that I really look up to that aren't anime YouTubers like Philip DeFranco and I guess PewDiePie. But I would actually, yeah, I think PewDiePie. I would really like to work with PewDiePie, and I like his content. And H3H3. But on the anime side, I would think maybe Lily Pichu or
Fuck that shit.
Alright. Next question. Man, there are a lot of questions on here that aren't even questions, like eat ass. The next question by Lacuna Craft. What do you like most about going to conventions, and what do you like least? What I like most about conventions is seeing people that I don't often get to see, that usually live abroad, or just friends that I get to finally hang out with. And what I like the least is how crowded usually they are and how much it usually just like smells, because what is a shower? Next question by Jay Daniels. And this is a question I'm surprised more people haven't asked throughout my entirety on YouTube, and that is the context behind the marriage picture with Giga. And I always want to talk about this because people do seem to think that we're married, but we're not. During my first year of dating Garnt, we wanted to do something like a nice little prank on our 1-year anniversary. So I bought a cheap wedding dress for about $10, and we just did this fake photo shoot with my friend who wanted to add some wedding photos to her portfolio. And that's the origin of it. And we put it online saying we got married as a joke for like 10 minutes because everybody was going apeshit. So then that's the truth behind it. I'm not married. Next question by The Chosen One. What was the first anime you ever watched? Or the first anime you became obsessed with? Blech. First anime I ever watched is my gateway anime would have to be Naruto. But that was not really the one I became obsessed with. It was just kind of like my gateway. The anime I first became obsessed with that was truly my first anime had to be Kamichima Karen. Next question by Diva's #1 fan. Why are you so pleasant? Thank you. Next question by Colton. What is the most awkward / disturbing role that you've ever done? That's a toughie because I usually don't do disturbing roles. I usually get typecasted as the Tsundere or the yelling girl. If anything, I would have to think about too when I was in an abridged series years ago as a Rebby, and I had to swear a lot, and I was still like about 14, 13 years old, and it's funny to think about how like back then I used to be scared to swear, but that just felt like I was like cringing inside because I knew I was like, fuck? Next question by Susubu Crow. Are you a fan of mecha? If so, what do you like? If not, that's okay too, I guess. But I don't like mecha. I don't. I've never watched a good mecha, to be fair. I've just never really watched a good mecha. I'm not really a fan of robots, so sue me. In your opinion, what is the worst byproduct of the early 2000s anime boom? There's so many. But I would have to say, like in my previous video, Icon. Next question, and this one is a bit of a more personal one, and it is by Gine, and the question is, how has the viral Tsundere video affected you? I could go on and on about my feelings about how everything went down, but I will just give a small synopsis. When it first happened, it was about 4 years ago when it started going viral and it was re-uploaded. It bothered me a bit at the time because there's so many people on 4chan just ripping me apart, and I wasn't used to that. And then people who I went to high school with that I had forgotten about started messaging me on Facebook saying, hey, is this you? Or they'd start sharing it on my personal Facebook, and people would message me like, what the hell is that? And yeah, that really got on my fucking nerves. Especially especially when it got into cringe compilations, which is what it's obviously mainly known for. And it really annoyed me more than anything because people just wouldn't shut up about it and wouldn't really get the joke behind it. Now I don't really care. I grew up, I've kind of come to terms with this is the internet, I can't change the internet. And I know it was a satire video. Some people, maybe hopefully majority know now that it was a satire. I know there's gonna be 13-year-olds out there who aren't gonna get the joke. And I mean, I've recently become pretty grateful about it because I mean, I've gotten to meet some people who liked it and some of those people like my new content now, but the conclusion of it is I don't care now. I used to, but next question by Sawyer Salfest. You drink a lot. What's your favorite drink? Mine's a cheap, neat scotch. I don't like scotch. My favorite drink would probably be a Bellini. I really like Bellinis, and I really love Prosecco. Next question by Noah Page. What is an anime film that not enough people have seen? I would have to say Hoturobi no Mori. I'm murdering it, I bet. And I would also have to say Piano no Mori. A lot of these movies are taking places in forests for some reason. Next question by Kanko. Which country do you like the most? Because I live in 3 of them, in case you guys didn't notice. And that one's a very hard one to answer because I like all of them and I dislike all of them for all different kinds of reasons. So if I had to give an honest answer, a country maybe would be that I like to go to is Japan, but I also never lived in Japan, so there's that. Next question by Danix III. Is there an anime and manga that people overhyped? Then you watch Reddit and you feel like it's good, but it's not that good, or it's just meh to me. And do people take the hype of anime and manga way too seriously to where it ruined the enjoyment of it for you? Yes! Majority of the time, actually, for almost any anime that's popular. I will say I've read quite a bit of Tokyo Ghoul. I don't like it. I don't see where the hype is. I don't really care for it. The story, everything was just a little... I also really, and I might get butchered for this, I don't like Magus Bride. I didn't like the anime, I didn't like the manga. I also, hey, another thing, I don't really like Harry Potter, so that might have something to do with it. But I will say, those are just 2 of the many mangas where I'm just like, it wasn't that good. And also, just to throw it in there, I still don't really know why people defend SAO to death. I don't like SAO, I didn't like any of it, I didn't like the light novel, I didn't like the anime. I just didn't care for any of it. Don't know why people like it so much, but to each their own. Next question by Rory Black. On a scale from 1 to 10, how Tsundere is Giguk? Guard! On a scale from 1 to 10, how Tsundere is Giguk?
Not Tsundere at all.
Bullshit. I'd say a solid 10 on that one.
Not Tsundere.
Get out of here. You disgust me. Next question by Chuck. How did you and Giguk meet? Well, that's a long, long story that I could potentially have in another video, but I'll just shorten it by saying we met online by me voicing the role of Masato in Ava Bridged. Next question by Master with Disaster. I want you as M, unreachable waifu because anything realistic sucks. Do you accept? What? Does the free market regulate the resource prices so they can't grow above or below a certain value? Mom, does the free market regulate the resource prices so they can't grow above or below a certain value?
No, I don't think so.
My mom doesn't think so. Next question by Shuriken. How many times can you dab in 1 minute? I will do this, but I will only do this once. Let me put a timer on. 1 minute. Let's find out how many times I can dab in 1 minute, I guess. Someone kill me for the love of God. I feel like I'm just having a seizure at this point. My arms are too tired. I'm done. I will just say 20. All right, I did not count how many that was, but I will say at least 5. Favorite anime from the year 2007? Well, Kamichima Karen. Because that's essentially what made me who I am today, was Kamichima Karen. Next question by Vincent Van Gool. Favorite Persona game character and why? I would have to definitely say Akihiko because I just really love his character. I don't know, he's kind of dreamy. Next question by Darren. Does fate exist? If so, do we have free will? Thoughts on liberal free will? What is the best moral system? How can we determine classification systems and what gives us authority to do so? Who gives us authority to give authority and who has authority to give authority? Thanks. You know what, Darren? I believe fate exists because fate brought you here to me, to watch my videos, to subscribe to me, to donate and give me money. My thoughts on liberal free will? It's good to have. Best moral system is to always support your waifu, which is me. You don't need anything else. In your lifetime of adventures, what's the most interesting place you've ever had the pleasure to visit? That's a bit of a hard one because I've actually have a few of those places. But one place I will definitely have to say is a place in Shibuya in Tokyo. There's a small alleyway that's hidden and it has on it my favorite bar, which is a music bar from the 1960s. And it also has a Chinese place that I really love right across from it. So every time I go to Tokyo, I always have to go there. And on the wall, you can scratch in your name or whatever message you want to leave. And I always leave my current wish that I'd like to accomplish. And each time I go there, I like to look back at it and think, did I do it? Did I accomplish it? And then I'd like to have the Chinese food across the street and then go back and have a drink. By Tyler Uzi Hobo. Do you think this actress looks like you? Not really. I think I could do the same facial, like... Okay, this one is by Oshi and Haza. Best con experience would be when I first met Garnt at ASEN 2014. Worst con experience, which is also at ASEN 2014, was when I had to say goodbye to Garnt. And while I was crying about to get in the car and go, somebody came up to him, recognized, like, hey, are you Giguk? And then Garnt was like, yeah. And then he gave me the camera while I was bawling my eyes out, makeup all over. And it's like, can you take a picture of me and Garnt? Next question, and I'll probably make this the last one because I feel like I've answered so many already. So I'm just gonna anime fire round of questions. Pick a random question. This one. By Nolan Venus. Do you believe that the cultural relevance of anime is dwindling into an obscure landscape which it cannot recover from, and otakus will have no hope but to desperately cling to their anime body pillows and silently cry while they grind against it? Love ya! Well, that is a bleak reality we all must accept at some point, isn't it, Nolan? And now just one more. I think I'll answer just one more. Okay. Can you recommend any slice of life anime? I really like Golden Time. Alright guys, that is the end of my AMA. I hope you enjoyed it, even though there were so many questions I didn't answer. I'm sorry to everybody I didn't answer. Thank you guys for watching. I hope I answered your questions about some things at least. Remember to keep an eye out on my social media, and if you're interested, give it a follow and subscribe. I'll be attending AX next week and I'm very excited for that. I hope to see some of you guys there. And I will catch you on the